Okay, Rabotai, we are continuing with part 3 in the Sefer that's called Eftecha B'Mashal Pi. Once again, Rabotai, we just want to do this. L'zchut Refuah Shalema Elimelech Gariel Ben Devorah. And also, we want to do Lil Nishmat, the names on the blackboard. Rabotai, part 3, we're going on. We're continuing from what we started in part 1 and part 2. I'll just say it right away. The question, Ech li natzech et Yetzer Hara. How does one defeat his Yetzer Hara? We spoke about it in part 1 and part 2, but I'm going to go straight to part 3 now. That there is a special way how to do it, and it's called Cheshbon HaNefesh. A person has to do calculations of the soul. So he says like this, Mirov atardosh Yetzer Hara matrit et Adam, from all the burdens, from all the troubles that the Yetzer Hara troubles a person, a person forgets for what is the whole reason to why he came to this world. Because the Yetzer Hara drives him nuts. Go here, do this, have a good time here, eat this, drink that, look there. The Yetzer Hara drives him up the wall. We have no advice for people. Only the only advice we have for people, Shigba Adam b'chol yom, a person should set every single day. Or akol panim b'chol shavua, at the very least, every single week. At a time l'nafsho litboded, b'chadro lipanot mitardotav v'lachshov, eitzo b'nafsho odot inine achriyuto, be'ezo oven letaken et atzmo. Rabotai, very critical. There's only one way how a person can fix himself, and that is by going into your room, turning away from all the troubles, all the things that bother you in this world, and to contemplate on things, on how to actually become better, and to remember the end of days that when they're going to come. And Rabotai, I just want to make something clear. You know, a lot of times when a person makes a decisive decision, that he wants to change, he no longer wants to speak Lashon Hara, or he wants to start learning Torah from tomorrow morning, whatever the situation might be, or he wants to start davening better. Rabotai, remember, it's not going to happen tomorrow, it's not going to happen even in a month or even in 3 months. It doesn't work like that, Rabotai. A person needs to have a plan. For example, I'll give you an example, Rabotai. A person, there's a very big rock in front of you, now you want to push it. So you get all hyped up and you say, no, sometime I'm going to push this rock. You can get hyped up all you want, you can make all the decisions you want. It's not going to help you if you do not have the muscles for it. So what does a person have to do? So I heard this from a beautiful, I forgot the name of the rabbi, he said, what does a person have to do? A person has to go ahead and he has to now start taking measurements of working out. What's going to be my daily schedule to work out in order to build up the proper muscles, in order to be able to move the boulder. Rabotai, same thing with us. Whenever a person decides to wanting to serve Hashem in any area of life, it's not only wanting to serve Hashem, but it is the measurements that one has to take. How do I do it? When do I start? How many minutes a day? Maybe the first bracha Shemoneh Esrei. Little by little, Rabotai, you have to build that muscle. And once you build the muscle, then it'll become easier for you to be able to accomplish your Avodat Hashem goal. So that's what he tells you over here, that a person needs to go ahead and he has to contemplate, forget about all the troubles, and literally, Rabotai, he has to sit down and talk to himself about the end of days, how he's going to fix himself in this world before he goes to the next world after 120. A person should not be concerned with all the things that goes on around his house, that, they're always running after money. Ki tzarich adam leida, because a person needs to know, Rabotai, she'av she'ishto ushar b'nei beito b'vaday hen ohavav. For sure, he says, that your wife and all the other household members, your children, your parents, whoever it might be, of course they are your loved. You love them, of course you love them. There's nobody in this world that you could possibly love more than your wife. But you always have to remember, nevertheless, they're only the loved ones for you only until the gate of the city where they're going to have to escort you after you leave this world. But afterwards, each person goes on his way. והוא נשאר רק לבדו, and that person is left alone. והוא צריך להשיב תשובה בית המשפט על כל דיבוריו, and a person, he needs to answer at the time of judgment for all the words that he said. כמו שאמרו חז"ל על הפסוק, like Chazal said in the pasuk, ומגיד לאדם מה שיחו, and they're going to tell a person what he spoke. אפילו שיחה קלה שבין איש לאשתו, מגיד לו לאדם בשעת הדין. Even the speech that a husband and wife had during relations, they're going to tell the person, they're going to ask him during judgment, Rabotai. That's what we have to understand. It is not a joke that when we start thinking, when we start saying, you know, my wife, my children, Shalom Bayis, Rabotai, it doesn't work like that. This Shalom Bayis will only get you to the gates of the cemetery. After the gates of the cemetery, you are on your own. And this is what he wants to tell us. You have to realize it. You need to make time to make sure that you correct yourself and do not allow other people to steal that from you, because that is exactly what they're doing. You know, the halacha says that if somebody wants to get up and kill you, Masechet Berachot, halacha says that if a person wants to get up and kill you, you need to kill him first. Your life comes first. Rabotai, when we're dealing with somebody wanting to kill you physically, you gotta get up and kill him. How much more so when somebody wants to make you sin spiritually, or he wants to take you away from Hashem? Come with me to the basketball game. Come with me to the beach. Come with me to the movie theaters. Why? Why should I listen to you? Over there, person should be, oh, you know, okay, you know, you're my brother, you're my father, you're my... What does that mean, Rabotai? Over there, nicely, I'm not telling you to kill nobody, Rabotai, but over there, nicely, you gotta get up and you have to say a statement. No. Just like you can understand that a child needs to say no to drugs, adults, we need to understand we gotta say no to a virus, and that we don't have, and we expect from our kids that they should say no. And then we wonder how come they can't say no. And then we see what the result, what is going on in the world. Rabotai, a person needs to be very, very careful, especially the parents. He continues over here and he says, וכן על כל שעותיו של ימי חייו מה עשה בהם. And so too a person is also going to have to give a accounting for all the hours, what he did with them. ואפילו אם עשה איזה דבר טוב. Even if you, let's say he did something good. האם קיבל בהם לכבוד השם יתברך ולרק להתייער. When you did that thing, when you gave tzedakah, when you learned Torah, did you do it for the honor of Hashem, or did you do it just for your own glory? Even that you will be judged, Rabotai. Every little thing you have to consider. Is it good what I'm doing? Is it bad? Is it necessary? Is it unnecessary? Where is it going to bring me? This means cheshbon hanefesh, Rabotai. ומי יחוס על אדם אם אינו חס על עצמו בימי חייו? Who's going to have mercy on you if you don't have mercy on yourself while you are alive? להתבונן בהם תמיד, לחשוב עם נפשו, לתקן בהם צידה, לבית מעודו, ולא ילכו לריק. How much a person, Rabotai, he has to worry for himself, because the honest truth is, Rabotai, nobody, if you don't worry for yourself, nobody's going to worry for you. And that's what Pirkei Avos says. Im ein anili mili. If I'm not for myself, who's going to be for me? That's what the Rav Chaim concludes, and he says, a person needs to fix himself, and he has to make provisions to his destined place, so that when he leaves this world, he does not leave this world to emptiness, Rabotai. Because, Rabotai, we've seen how low in Rabotai, people go left and right without even having the bit of idea that they were supposed to die. So a person needs to take this into their heart, Rabotai. Understand one thing. It doesn't have to be hours, but make a time, Rabotai, in the morning, maybe before davening, maybe after davening, at night before you go to sleep. Just look throughout your day. Maybe I upset somebody, maybe I cursed, maybe I watched something I wasn't supposed to watch. And little by little, Rabotai, this is how you're going to make cheshbon hanefesh. So tomorrow, even though you could fall tomorrow, not saying you're allowed to, but say you'll fall, but at least you'll feel bad and you'll know what you're doing wrong. And this way, little by little, you're going to be able to correct yourself. I just want to conclude with one small thought, that right now we are in the sphere of the Omer, and we know that B'ezrat Hashem on the 49th day, we're going to receive the Torah on Har Sinai. On Shavuot, we're going to receive the Torah. Rabotai, the question I ask is that how many of us are working and purifying ourselves in order to come and receive the Torah? Because all these 49 days is what? Rabbi Akiva and he lost his students? Okay, fine, we're mourning for them, which is understandable. But what does that have to do with us, Rabotai? It's very simple. We need to correct ourselves. We need to purify ourselves, that when we come to Shavuot to receive the Matan Torah, you want to be a good vessel to be able to accept the Torah. You don't want to be a dirty vessel. You know, like you have expensive wine and you have a dirty cup. If you put that expensive wine into the dirty cup, nobody's drinking from it. Same thing over here, Rabbotai. When Hashem gives us the Torah, He doesn't want to give it to a person who's not fit. But Rabbotai, what's the resolution? There's a small idea, there's a small thought that, you know, a lot of us, we have certain things that we need to work on. Right now, 49 days, whatever it is, take up right now, it's even less than that, 31 days maybe left. Take upon yourself, Rabbotai, one small thing. One small thing which is, you know, you haven't been doing it, you should be doing it. For example, a lot of us, we don't say Kiri Shema Alamita the way we're supposed to. Or we don't say Asher Yatar with Kavanah. Or we don't daven Shemoneh Esrei properly. Or we don't have fixed times of learning Torah. Or we curse. Or we speak Lashon Hara, Rabbotai. Take upon yourself maybe 5 minutes, Rabbotai, 5 minutes. That time when you wanted to watch some, who knows what, those 5 minutes when you really wanted to watch, say, you know, Hashem, these 5 minutes I want to sacrifice to you. For 49 days, if you have this struggle by watching Lo Leinu, work on yourself for 5 minutes a day. I'm not telling you it's allowed, but I'm trying to show you, Rabbotai, you have to sacrifice something from yourself in order for Hashem to see, wow, my son is doing something, my daughter is doing something. But all if we do, just say the Omer and we continue learning and davening and we don't change, how are we becoming different? So there, Rabbotai, it could be over there, or a person wants to say good Lashon Hara. He says, you know, 5 minutes I'm going to be quiet. I'm not going to say it. After 5 minutes, it's what's up to you. You're not allowed to, but just tell yourself 5 minutes I'm not going to speak. I'm sacrificing to you. After 5 minutes, we'll see what happens. Same thing when a person gets angry. Instead of getting angry, tell himself 5 minutes I'll hold my anger in. Rabbotai, it all comes down to sacrificing 5 minutes a day to Hashem, and you will see, Rabbotai, after 49 days, what kind of person you have become from whatever you took upon yourself. And then you'll see how much potential you have. All you have to do, Rabbotai, is start to get the ball rolling. Baruch Adonai Olam, Amen, Amen.